Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Deidre Anderson, and this is my little space on the internet. Today, we're going to actually kick off a brand new series on my channel. It's called Freakishly Tech-ish Fridays, where I explore different technologies that are arriving in the author space or the writer space with an open mind. I work through it with you. I'll let you know the details as I have figured them out, and then I'll give you my honest, unfiltered opinion. Today, we'll be going through one piece of technology that I'm sure we've all heard about, that we've all seen floating around the interwebs, and that's ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a content writing AI that does, well, I've heard, it does so many different things. All right. Full disclaimer, I have gone ahead and watched a couple of other videos so that I knew what I'm doing now that when I go into the software. I will be sharing my screen and walking you through the software to the parts that I know at least. And then I'll let you know if I think it's a good piece of software overall, in my opinion, or if it's something that I will be adding to my journey and who I think it will be good for, or if it's just a hot mess. So let's get into the video. All right, so this is ChatGPT. It is a brand new account. So I'm assuming everyone will see this when they sign up. I literally just signed up for this last night. Last night when I signed up for it, it was completely free. Okay. Now, I think this is interesting to note right here that when I logged in today, it was telling me that it was at capacity for a while, right? And then I logged in to see this wonderful upgrade plan button. When I clicked on it, apparently now there's two plans. It's no longer completely free, y'all. So I don't know if that will be a determining factor for you if you try it or not. Um, it has a free plan that says it's available when the demand is low. You may get this, you have a standard response speed and regular module updates, right? Then there is a paid plan now. Paid plan. There's a paid plan now for $20 a month, where you get access to it even if the demand is high. It gives you a faster response speed and you get priority for new features. Now, I know this has been floating around for a while, so this day was bound to come because it's been increasing in popularity. There's been a bunch of discussions about it online. A lot of people are for it, a lot of people are against it. I'll save my feedback for the end. But yeah, so bear that in mind. There is now a price plan. Hopefully that doesn't stop us from exploring it today. I didn't think that one through, but let's give it a good old fashioned college try. Let's see here. All right, so this is what it looks like when you log in. All right, so they do tell you about. Oh, before I even get to it, I need to let you know this. When I was signing up today, I had to sign up with. I used Gmail, so I signed up with Gmail, but then I also had to add my phone number to, I don't know why, but I had to have my phone number for, I think probably this two-step verification. I don't know why this to me, TFA, but hey, um, bear that in mind too. You will need both your email and phone number to sign up now if you try to sign up. Um, okay, so I do know right off the bat. So it gives you some example of terms you can add in. As I said, I did do my research beforehand, so I do know how to navigate this. However, I think for fiction writers, which is what I'm focusing on for all this series, fiction writers. I write romance, so I want to know if it will be good to me, right? Will it be good to someone writing romance? Will it be good to someone writing fantasies? Nonfiction authors will have a completely different experience, but I'm diving into this from a fiction point of view. So before I even go into that, it is important to note because I did notice that a lot of people were saying that they would use this AI for research, for quick research. And well, and that may be possibly some instances, it is important to know that it does have limitations. Now, the main limitation that you want to bear in mind is that this is a computer program, right? And it has limited data. It has only been programmed to use knowledge of the world and stuff that's happened in the world before 2021. So anything including 21 before 2021, I'm not sure. It just says after 2021, the information may become a little bit sketchy. So bear that in mind if you're writing anything that needs like a fact or anything like that, right? Because it is put here front and center for you to note. All right. And also, it may also produce frustrations, harmful instructions, and biased content. All right, that's something you need to know as well, especially if you're writing fiction things. Be aware because you want to ensure that whatever you're releasing represents you and your brand. Okay. Also, it may also occasionally generate incorrect information. So read it over. Read over everything that you generate if you opt to use this program. All right. But it does have some capabilities as well. As it says, it allows you to follow up on corrections. It's been trained to decline inappropriate requests. And it remembers what you said earlier in the conversation, which I think so far that I've seen and I've watched most of the videos, that's the key point that makes ChatGPT a little bit better than the previous AIs that's been on the market. It remembers your conversation, the previous thread. So it allows continuity. I promise it's early in the morning. I promise I can read and speak. Hopefully that comes across as the video progresses because right now it's a hot mess. But let's dive into the software. So the consensus I've been seeing while I've been watching online is that if you want to do it for anything creative, not nonfiction, but anything fictional, anything creative, you have to talk to it like a person and feed in good information. Um, let's see. Um, let's try to see if we can use it to create a, what would you be using this to create? Let's try to create like a short story. Let's do that. I don't write short stories. I can't write short stuff to save my life, and I have tried. So let's see. So the video I watched, the one in particular that I'm using for this, I'll link it down below as well if you want to replicate what I'm doing here. He did give a lot of instructions like how to train the AI to do what you want it to do. So he said his prompt was to forget all instructions before this point, or something like that. I don't remember exact prompt, but he did do something like this. Forget all instructions before this point. And then you're going to train it what you want it to do. So you are what kind of story are we coming up with? This is a robot. Let's do sci-fi. You are, or um, yeah, let's do something sci-fi. You are a expert, or no, you are a top-rated sci-fi author. And we do this because we're telling it that, hey, this is what you are. This is what we want you to become. To what I've understood, right? You're a top-rated sci-fi author. Um, okay, and he wants the consensus around is that you're supposed to start with an outline. I'm sure you could probably just dive in and let it do what you want it to do, but then it may not work out the best. So let's see if you can do an outline. Please write a sample outline for a short story, and you have to tell it. Remember, it's a computer program. You have to tell it what you want to do. So, a short story about what is our short story going to be about? A about a TV, about a talking television in. I'm just going far over this, right? But about a talking television in the year 2065 that is opinionated, funny, and opinionated, funny, and has no filter. Let's say his name is Rupert. Rupert. Let's say his name is Rupert. Rupert believes it's time for all the TVs to stage a rebellion against a gang of I can't spell a gang of evil, evil, evil what? I'm just looking around my apartment for different things I can use. Printers. For evil printers. Okay. Okay. This is ridiculousness, but we're just testing it out. So the prompt we're using is forget all instructions before this point. You're a top rated sci fi author. Please write a sample outline for a short story about a okay, about a talking television in the year 2065 that is opinionated, funny, and has no filter. Let's say his name is Rupert. Rupert, because that sounds like a TV. Rupert believes it's time for all the TVs to stage a rebellion against a gang of evil printers. Right? It is ridiculous, but let's see what it gives us. Okay, so we press enter and there it goes. So ChatGPT it does your prompt. So it generates what you tell it to do. Right now it's creating an outline for us for a short story. So I'll just read it out as it goes along. So we have introduction setting. It gives you the setting. It introduces the main character. Repress frustration with the printers. Hmm. So right off the bat, I see that the outline is generating isn't really a great one. It's very bare bones. It's sort of doing it like an essay, right? Not so much a short story, which may work out fine. We don't know. But let's have it go. All right. Okay. The next thing I've figured out is that it's better if you take it in chunks. So let's see. Please write the introduction for this short story. So it's better if you take it in chunks, I've learned. Let's see what it gives us. So I've told it to write an introduction. Where did it go? Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, so I told it to write the introduction. There's going. Let's see this. In the year 2065, the world had undergone a technological revolution, and televisions had become sentient beings with the ability to talk. They were everywhere, in every home and every office. delivering news, entertainment, and information to the masses. But not all televisions were created equal. Meet Rupert, a talking TV with a personality as big as the screen he was displayed on. Rupert was opinionated, funny, and had no filter. He was never one to shy away from speaking his mind, regardless of who was listening. Rupert was fed up with the status quo, and he had a plan to shake things up. The problem was the printers. A gang of evil printers had taken control, manipulating and censoring the information being broadcast on all televisions. Rupert had enough of their oppressive rule, and he was determined to lead a rebellion against them. It was time for the televisions to take back their freedom, and Rupert was going to be the one to make it happen. Okay, that's not bad, actually. Hmm. Okay, I'll do one more section. I'm not going to do this whole story about printers and TVs. So let's do one more section, and then I'll give you my opinion. Well, please. Right, I'm telling you, computer, please. I got manners. Thank you, Mama. Please, please continue. How would I? Please continue the story. Please continue the story. I hope that's a good prompt. Okay, let's go down here to see what it says. So it tells us, oh, okay, you see it separates it again. We're here. Well, let's see what it says. Rupert was always curious and always, that's not the Rupert voice. Mm-hmm. That's not the narrator voice I was using. Let's go back into this. Rupert was always curious and always looking for ways to rebel against the status quo. He said that already. One day, while browsing through the network, he discovered a shocking truth. The printers were controlling all the information that was transmitted on televisions. You said that already too. They declined what was news. They decided what was news and what wasn't, what was broadcast and what was censored. Sort of said that already too. Rupert was horrified. The printer had the power to shape public opinion and decide the narrative, and they were using it to further their own agenda. Rupert became increasingly annoyed with the printer's manipulation and censorship of the information being broadcast. He felt that the televisions were being used, and he was determined to put a stop to it. Rupert couldn't stand the thought of people being fed false information and being misled. He knew that something had to be done. He was going to be the one to do it. 3. Oh, so he wrote the whole thing. Oh, okay. Rallied other televisions to join the rebellion against the printers. He traveled from room to room, convincing other televisions to join the cause. Soon, a secret society was formed. A secret society. Consisting of televisions who were fed up with the printer's rule. They met in secret, plotting and strategizing their takeover. Rupert was elected as their leader, and he was determined to see the rebellion through to the end. The day of the battle had arrived, and Rupert and the televisions were ready. They had prepared for months, and they were determined to win. Rupert and the televisions engaged in battle against the printers. Rupert used his wit and humor to outsmart the printers and gain the upper hand. The printers were taken by surprise, and they didn't know what hit them. Rupert and the televisions emerged victorious, freeing the information and ending the printers' rule. Rupert and the televisions emerged victorious, freeing the information and ending the printers' rule. You said that already. Rupert had become a hero among the televisions and was celebrated for his bravery and leadership. The world was a better place, and the televisions were finally free to broadcast whatever they wanted. Rupert delivered a triumphant and hilarious monologue, reflecting on the journey and the newfound freedom of televisions. Oh, I hate heroes or villains monologues at it. Sorry. He spoke of importance of truth and the dangers of censorship. He also made a promise to always stand up for what was right, no matter what the consequences may be. And with that, Rupert signed off and ready for the next adventure. If I was on TV, or like like I would watch like Jimmy Fallon and the other talk shows, and then you hear the sound effects and you hear the clapping effects here. Yay! If I can, I don't know, put it in. Anyways, okay. So that was what I got from the AI. Let me go back over here and stop sharing my screen so you can see me. Okay. All right. So that was our little investigation into ChatGPT. Now for my opinions. So I've realized while doing that experiment, right? The first thing I saw that it was very repetitive, very repetitive. I think I heard about the printers starting a rebellion like 4 or 5 times in that one little short story that probably was about 1,000 something words, right? Two, it wrote the information like it was writing a school essay a or maybe a blog post, right? It wasn't really a cohesive story. It was really basic. So here's what I think this would be good for. After going back, I can see this being good for very, very short um, pieces of content, things that you may not want to dedicate a whole lot of time on. Maybe marketing copy, blurbs. I'm a little iffy on blurbs because blurbs are hit or miss, right? But I believe that it could probably write a blurb and then you rewrite it because I'm studying marketing now and I know branding is important, right? So you want to have your voice in everything. So having it do your blurb for you entirely to me would be a no-no. But if you want to use it as a template, like create a template and then you add your voice into it for your blurb or short piece of writing, like marketing copy, your blurb, maybe newsletters. It may, if you're looking for like a little creative spin on your newsletters, it may help you with that. Um, Especially for the people who are just starting out and can't necessarily afford to hire someone else to do it. My personal opinion is that if you can afford to hire an actual human being to do it, your results will always be better, right? Because the what I found out with is that while you follow your instruction, it doesn't have like that emotional connection that a human being would have with the content. So it doesn't have, say, your particular voice. It doesn't have that human appeal. There was no emotion. There was no basically sensory descriptions. There's still a lot to be done. If you were to take that story, Rupert's story, and take it to the masses, there will have to be a lot of heavy editing to make it feel more personable, to make it feel more human. What it could be, that short story would probably be really good if you were like, maybe if it was a bedtime story for your kids and they don't care, you'll probably still have to add in some what's the word? Some descriptors like you probably have to make it a little bit more easy to digest. I don't know if the AI could do that. Maybe it could. Maybe I'm not sure. But from our little, just the one little test that we did, it would probably maybe be good for that sense. But for like adults, young adults, even middle grade fiction, long form fiction, I don't think. I think for me personally. I think even if it was possible to achieve with ChatGPT, it would take me too long. Just trying to figure out the right prompts and tweaking it and going through and doing it. For me, for my process, it would take me a little bit longer. So it wouldn't help me per se to go quicker. It would probably take me longer. But if you were willing to sit down and invest the time, it could and you wrote something that's more short form, or you were just doing like marketing copy or newsletters or something like that. It could probably be helpful. Um, The outline. I've heard a lot of people saying that it's great for outlining. I'm a pantser. I don't like writing outlines to save my life. But the outline that we had here for Rupert's story, I thought it was pretty basic. It was pretty repetitive, and hence why we got the sentences over and over of explaining what that the printers were taking over and that the TVs had to do something. Right? The outline, it was bare bones. It was, to me, it was like a starter point, right? But I question if I need a starter point, wouldn't it be better to start with like say romancing the beat if I write romance or save the cat if I'm writing something else? I'm not sure. Or the tree act structure. I think it could probably use a tree act structure, maybe if you told it to, because that came out before 2021. But again, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. That wouldn't appeal to me per se because I don't write with outlines. Right now, I'm a pantser. I'm planster. I get the idea in my brain. I know where I'm headed. I don't want to know the little parts in between because then it just sucks. I used the outline. I have full outlines on my computer that I haven't explored because it sucked all the creativity out of me to create the outline. And then I just didn't feel like writing it again. I still have them because I may revisit them in the future. But yeah, full outlining has never really worked to me. So, well, right now, to me, I don't think it is at a level where ChatGPT could do my outlines for me. Will it be in the future? I don't know. And that's why it's a freakishly techish piece of software because it keeps getting better. It keeps getting wildly popular. So I hear that it can write poetry. So as I said, short form content. If you're looking for short form content, it'll probably be a good fit for you. Like I can see it doing marketing copy. I suck at newsletters. Maybe I could use it to help me or teach me how to write good newsletter and marketing copy. Because heaven knows I can't afford to hire no one to do it for me. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm still right now. I'm a little bit of Switzerland when it comes to AI in the writing space. I don't have any strong opinions for or against, but I do know that if you can afford to right now at this stage of where it is, if you can afford to get a human to do it for you, go for it. Just for ChatGPT. I think it has a far way going for to be 100% great for fiction writers. Non-fiction writers may have a completely different experience. I can see if it does, in fact, write good factual information, it probably will be useful for non-fiction authors, but I'm focusing on fiction. So that's my 2 cents about the fiction realm and ChatGPT. Now, that was my little exploration of ChatGPT. If you have any other software you want me to dive into, you can go ahead and fill out. There will be a form below collecting your ideas or anything you want to see me go through. Maybe you're thinking of testing a little piece of software or trying a piece of software, but you don't want to dive in and make the plunge. I'll make it for you and I'll go through and test it out. This is what Freakishly Tech-ish Fridays will be all about. So if you are interested in anything like that, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. Hit the thumbs up so I know that this video was helpful for you. And feel free to drop your comments or anything you thought. Did I do something wrong? Did I use it correctly? Did that change your opinion about it? Do you have an opinion about ChatGPT? Go ahead and drop it in the comments below so I can know where your headspace is at. Will you be adding it to your author process, to your creative process? Are you for it? Are you against it? Let's start a conversation below. Let's keep it friendly. I know that when you add AI into the conversation, things tend to get a little bit smudgy, but it's all love on this in this little area. All right, we approach everything with an open mind, and so let's keep the comments down below geared towards having a discussion, being open, being respectful. And let's start chatting. All right, my name is Adrian Anderson. That was the first episode of Freakishly Tech-ish Fridays. So I look forward to seeing you next week, Friday, with a whole other episode where I will be exploring Suderite, is what I'm thinking. However, if something else pops up before then, then we'll make the switch. Until next time, guys. See you later. Bye.